Hello everyone, welcome to EVTN News. Let's get it kicked right off here, and we'll start out with this story. Addressing a press conference at Fatima, Portugal over the weekend, Cardinal Ulrich Steiner from Brazil's Amazon region renewed his prior calls for a female diaconate. Steiner said, and this was actually this past weekend, Steiner said, in our reality, women exercise the deacons' ministries. He's the Cardinal Archbishop of Manaus in the Amazon, and he presides over an area with approximately 1.6 million Catholics. He added that the vast majority of our small communities are coordinated by women, typical Inova sort of, noting that the role of women in the Church of the Amazon is fundamental. He said, when I send someone, for example, to baptize, I lay hands on them, but I don't lay hands on someone as an ordination. I lay hands as the apostles did. He attested, adding that it is a sign of receiving a ministry that this person will celebrate a sacrament. A sign of receiving a ministry and that this person... Okay, so he's basically doing fake ordinations of women, and he's in serious error. So, but I think this is part of the I don't want to say I think this is part of the tactic of the synod of Francis, is that well, this was a press conference in Fatima, so I guess this wasn't related to the synod necessarily, but they have different people answering questions all the time, and so you're going to get different answers for each press conference, and I think the media understands that, and so they're rightfully kind of ignoring it. So, yeah. Okay, so, and I thought this story was about the synod, but it wasn't. So, but the next story is, for sure. Synod members discussed a proposal that would give bishops doctrinal authority, essentially having the Catholic Church break up into numerous different, often contradictory bodies. It was met with significant opposition on October 16th. Several delegates from different language groups and geographical backgrounds expressed concern about the proposal, which has no basis in scripture, church tradition, or common sense. One synod member told the National Catholic Register that the level of opposition was tremendous. The source said the majority is clearly against it overwhelmingly. So this was sort of like the German bishops' proposal that bishops' conferences have doctrinal authority. So, of course, the German bishops would authorize LMNOP marriage, whatever, and that the German bishops would that they would also authorize women deacons and probably ordination of women. I don't know how I got so many viewers all of a sudden. I think they might be spam bots, but I never have that many. Actually, I think there's one who is actually a spammer there. Okay. Wow, that's impressive. Okay, it went from 23 to 17 to 6. I deleted one person's comment, and anyway, that's odd. All right. Speaking of the American context specifically, recent. Oh, okay. So this was a. So there was a. Oh boy. Wow. Got a lot of comments. I don't know what happened here. Wow. This is okay. Well, I mean, it's nice for like statistics for my video, my channel, to have spam bots in the comments and everything. But yeah. All right. So this was an interview with Cardinal Gregory, and this will really tell you something. I'm at least glad that people liked my video. So the question, this was an interview with Crux. The question was, speaking of the American context specifically, recently 3 of your fellow American cardinals and synod delegates had a meeting with Pope Francis to discuss challenges in the American church. So those cardinals were McElroy, Tobin, and Supich, of course, very much in the McCarrick network. And the question continues, many were surprised that you weren't also part of that meeting. This is specifically, asked the Cardinal Gregory, is there a reason you didn't participate? And his answer was, I didn't get the invitation. I have no idea. I don't know if they asked for the meeting or that the Holy Father asked them. I simply don't know. The question, in a press conference, Cardinal Tobin said that he had requested the meeting with the Pope, and Gregory says, I have no idea. So, Gregory was left out of the McCarrick Cardinals network. So, yeah, now there was a photo that surfaced, of course, with these American Cardinals meeting with Pope Francis to discuss the challenges of the American Church. The challenges are that they need to step up and become Catholic bishops, not promote this rotten nonsense. And yeah, okay. So I'm not so sure if these commenters are real or not. Anyway, okay. That was very strange. If you have a comment, leave a comment on the video content, not just spamming stuff. I'm just trying to see who's real and who's not. Okay. All right. So Jaden Green, thanks for joining. What rite do you belong to? I see someone commented in. Looks like Spanish. I don't know. Okay. All right. So in regards to the FSSP investigation, it's called an apostolic visitation, but it's actually more of an investigation. 2 retired archbishops, Monsignor Diarmuid Martin, age 79, from Dublin, Ireland, Monsignor Bernard Nicholas Albertine, age 80, of Tours, France, have been named visitators for the priestly fraternity of St. Peter FSSP, writes Diane Montagna on October 17th. The apostolic visitation was announced at the end of September. Monsignor Martin is a LMNOP activist. This is the one from Ireland. He's an LMNOP activist and supporter of LMNOP civil unions. He called John Paul II a bad theologian for condemning condoms as intrinsically evil. He wanted to build the church in a different way. I assume this is Martin. He wanted to build the church in a different way. Archbishop Martin insulted Catholics as narrow-minded and bitter. At the same time, he considers Mohammedans to be part of the Irish family. So, for USA, hold on. So, is this the FSSP seminary in Germany? Is that ad volantis? I'm not sure what the context of your comment is. Let's see. Okay. Anyway. I think this is the FSSP seminary in Germany, but I could be wrong. It could be the one in the United States. Okay, let's see. All right. Oh, Supich, Tobin, and Francis. Yeah, that's meeting with USA Cardinals, American Cardinals. All right. So, what is this? Oh, this is okay. This is interesting. So I talk about the Diocese of Fréjus Toulon in France. This was Bishop Ray, and Bishop Ray was the Bishop of Fréjus Toulon, and he has been targeted by Francis, maybe not as much as Strickland, but certainly to some extent. So Bishop Francois Touvet was named the coadjutor bishop, and that's in quotes because coadjutor means equal. But he runs the diocese. And I think on one of my videos there was someone who left a very angry comment that I was very wrong about this, and Touvet is not running the diocese. And I don't know where this person may have been. I don't know. It may have been from the McCarrick network or Francis Bot or whatever. But they were actually. Turns out this person was very wrong. So Touvet is running the diocese because he's the only one that's making any decisions for the diocese. Touvet is 59 and Bishop Ray is, I think, around 72 years old. So under normal circumstances, Bishop Ray would have 3 more years until mandatory retirement. But in the Francis Church, those rules don't apply, and if you have a shred of Catholicism, Francis is going to try to force you to resign. So, okay. So anyway, Bishop Touvet is the Francis bishop who is appointed to oversee this diocese, and it might give you an indication into what Francis hopes what Francis hopes will happen to other dioceses, or maybe what he plans to do in the future. You don't really know. Anyway, Bishop Touvet of Fréjus Toulon, France, is tearing the diocese apart. And there's some examples that were given. So, the ordination of 6 missionaries of Divine Mercy are still blocked. Bishop Touvet has agreed that the ordinations will take place within a traditional Mass, but with the new rite of ordination. This is a rather strange liturgy. This liturgy was also used for ordinations in the Abbey of La Grasse in the Aude region a few months ago. Bishop Touvet forbids the missionaries of mercy priests ordained in this way to celebrate the traditional Mass afterwards, although it's enshrined in their constitution. 5 days before Thomas Duchesne was ordained to the diaconate, Bishop Touvet had him sign a document in Toulon on September 21st stating that he would celebrate Mass only according to the Novus Ordo rite and administer the sacraments only according to the Novus Ordo, and to use only the modern liturgy of the hours. He was also asked not to refuse communion in the hand, so he had he had to sign this. He had to sign his life away, I guess, to the Novus Ordo rite, which is completely compromised. And the same text was subsequently proposed by Bishop Touvet to 9 future deacons of the diocese. Most of them reacted very negatively, denouncing an abuse of power. The bishop left the meeting, taking his copies with him. Several new parish priests in the diocese received a letter of appointment at the beginning of the new school year, asking them not to celebrate Mass with their backs to the people. That was in quotes, with their backs to the people. Not to use the offertory of the traditional rite, and not to use exclusively the Roman canon in their Novus Ordo Mass. So not only are they trying to crush the traditional Mass and sacraments, they're trying to crush reverent Novus Ordos. So, I mean, that's the goal. That's the goal, is to remove reverence. It's not even about the traditional Mass necessarily. The traditional Mass is the easiest target just because the bishops hate anything that has a shred of Catholicism, or the Francis Church hates it. But, okay. All right. United States FSSP seminaries in my diocese. I have not heard about the visitation being here. I believe it's in Germany. I think they have 2 seminaries and one's in Germany. All bishops must be synodal or you get the boot. Yep, ask Bishop Strickland. Novus. Oh, I can't comment on that. Novus Ordo ordination's valid. The priest that baptized me in 1979 died from diabetes. Complications about 15 years ago. I'm not sure when he was ordained. I think he was younger priest, so probably in the new rite, unfortunately. Yeah, but I think, people really want the old rite baptisms and the old rite sacraments and everything, so that seems to be the way things are headed anyway. All right, well, that's what I have for you today. So that was actually kind of crazy with all of the interesting bot statistics. I think at one point I had 23 live viewers. Went from 0 to 23 pretty quickly. I don't know how that worked, but anyway. All right, until next time, thank you so much for watching. We are the laity, and we will not be silent.